We do loads of first look videos at Electrifying. If I'm being completely honest, we're not always the very first people to see the car, but we are amongst the first. Today is a little bit different because the car on here under wraps, well, apart from a few people inside of Nissan, we really are the first ones to see it because under there is the all-new, all-electric Nissan Micra. Should we take a look? Come on, bring her off. In case you were wondering, the driver is inside and he has that little hole in the covers. That's the only way he's seeing what he's doing. So he needs a bit of help. Much more lock on. That's it, yeah. You'll clear it. Woo. Lovely. Everyone's got a story about the Nissan Micra, haven't they? You know, when you were growing up, maybe your mate's mum had one, or your nan, or you learnt to drive in one, or perhaps it was your first car. And that's because for at least 2 decades, the Nissan Micra was everywhere. And now it is back and it is all electric. So shall we see if they've managed to work that Micra magic once again? Let's have a look under here. Ah, looks good. Come on. Some of the more observant of you will notice straight away that this car has a familiar look to it, particularly around the middle. That's because the Micra shares a lot of the important stuff like the tech and the battery and the motors and the interior with the Renault 5, and that is no bad thing. The Renault is a great car. It's currently the hottest thing in the EV world. But Nissan reckon that there are buyers out there who won't necessarily like its retro looks and will want to look forward rather than back. And for them, we have this. So I drove here to the studio today in a Renault 5 and I was expecting the Micra and the 5 to have similar vibes. Now I'm here, I can see it does have a really different feel. From certain angles, particularly down this rear side, it is a bit 5-ish, and the way the wheels are pushed right out to the edge of the wheelbase, of course, because it's all the same car underneath. But here at the front, it's very different. So Nissan have said it's got mini sort of SUV vibes. I was quite skeptical when I read that in the press release, but I can see it. It's got a much higher line here and it looks chunkier at the front. There's a line that runs along the side that I really like. It's like well, apparently it's to resemble the scoop of an ice cream, and it runs all the way down. Visually really nice. I also like the front lights. Again, completely different to the 5's squared off lights. They're giving me a bit more kind of Twingo-ish vibes, and I think they're really friendly. It's got a nice face. And apparently it does something called a welcome wink when you unlock the car, so let's have a look. Oh yeah, it did it, a little wink. It's nice, isn't it? I like that. Don't like the name Welcome Wink though, Nissan. Reminds me of something your creepy uncle might do, so maybe rethink that, but I like the welcome. Let's go into the back, come on. Yeah, I do really like that ice cream scoop along the doors, and I like the lights here. It's got quite a simple look at the back. It's unfussy, just these really friendly circular lights as well. I kind of want that to open though. It'd been so cool if that was a charging port, but it's not. That's around there. I love the fact that it has got 18-inch wheels. Again, just like the Renault 5, I think they work so well on this car because they just emphasise its compact, sort of sporty side profile. You get a choice of 3 different alloys. I don't know which one this is, but no doubt because it's the show car, it's the most expensive. They look very nice. And here is a fun fact for you. The original Nissan Micra would have had 12-inch wheels. It'd look tiny next to this. It's a nice colour, isn't it? There'll be a whole range of different colours. There's a couple of really nice bright ones in there and different options for the roof as well. So you can mix and match and play around with the colours. Oh look, I'm here by the interior. Let's go inside. Which car am I in? This is so familiar. This is literally identical to the interior on the Renault 5. Seats are the same, headline is the same, infotainment system's the same, the storage is the same. I've spotted a difference. So there's loads of little Easter eggs around the Renault 5, and you've got one here. So of course Nissan, proudly Japanese, and there is a little, it's Mount Fuji just there in your little storage tray, which is sweet. On the subject of Easter eggs, there is an Easter egg here that probably doesn't belong in this car. There's a little cock over there, which you see in the Renault 5 because it's French, and of course, you know, French, cockerel, symbols, all of that, is still in the windscreen. But look, the fact that it is actually the same interior as the Renault 5 is no bad thing because it is a good interior. So you've got the same dual screens here at the front, 10.1 inches, and it's got the same operating system. They both use the Google system. It's voice activated, again, just the way it is on the Renault 5. And it actually is a really good system. It's intuitive, it's easy to use, it's not overcomplicated. There's a good blend of physical buttons in here as well. So you've got all the buttons there for your climate control. Here around the steering wheel, yes, you've guessed it, it is the same. So you've got quite a lot of stalks there, including paddles for the brake regen. Now I think that's a new thing because the Renault 5 doesn't have that. It doesn't have that. So we've got paddles, which must be for the regen because there's going down there, going up there. Oh, it is. That's really exciting. Because that's been one of my big gripes about the Renault 5 is that they should have done more with the brake regeneration. And maybe that means that it's also going to go onto the Renault 5. Very keen to try that out. So yeah, that's the front. And I'm guessing if we head into the back, it's probably a bit like the Renault 5. Let's take a look. Yes, it is exactly like the Renault 5, literally the same car, which means that if you're really looking for space in the rear seats, then this is probably not going to be the car for you. You'll want to go for something like the Hyundai Insta, which, although it only takes 2 passengers in the back, is very comfortable for larger adults. If you're putting kids back here, that's fine. Although one thing to note, we'll check, yeah, the angle of the doors, not quite wide enough, I think. And I think it could make getting kids in and out of child seats in the back a little bit awkward. But yeah, it's the same wheelbase, same width, same length. Of course it's going to be the same back here. You won't be lacking for safety tech either. The Micra will come with Nissan Pro Pilot Assist, which gives lane keeping assistance, adaptive cruise control, emergency braking, autonomous emergency braking, emergency lane keeping assist, lane departure warning, intelligent speed assist, and the list goes on.
This video is brought to you with Andersen EV, the UK's most awarded home charge point brand of 2024, offering over 200 colour and finish options, a market-leading 7-year warranty, and a unique hidden tethered cable.
Boot space, it is exactly the same as the Renault 5, because of course it shares so much with it. 326 litres. If you want to put the seats right back and down, that expands to just over 1100. Again, like the 5, you've got this quite high load lip, which is harder if you're lifting stuff in, but it does give you the extra depth. And I've been running the 5 for about a month or so now, and actually you can squeeze quite a lot of stuff in there. Got a little Mount Fuji. I do love an Easter egg. And if you want to know more about the Nissan Micra, then if you scan the QR code up there at the top of the screen, that will take you over to the full written review, which is over at electrifying.com. So there are 2 options when it comes to the battery, 40 and 52 kilowatt hours with a range of 192 or 253 miles, which weirdly is not like the Renault 5. It's actually slightly less. That has 194 or 255 miles. So what's happened? Why is it less? Is it the aero? Maybe it's the weight of the Mount Fuji pictures, who knows? But it's still a pretty decent range. Charging speeds, you get DC fast charging of up to 100 kilowatts, and that will give you 15 to 80% in about half an hour. That drops to 80 kilowatts if you go for the smaller battery. AC charging on both is 11 kilowatts. And just like the Renault 5, a heat pump is standard across both battery options, along with battery heating and cooling capability, which is really great stuff for optimizing your charging. You also incidentally get vehicle-to-load technology, which allows you to use your car as a battery source, to plug anything you want into it, your coffee maker, your hairdryer, your power tools, just as you do on, yes, you guessed it, the Renault 5. Sales of the Micra will start in late 2025, and it's part of what can only be called Nissan's product offensive. 4 new fully electric models by 2027. So the Micra will be followed by the new Leaf, the Duke, and then a sub £18,000 city car based on the Renault Twingo. I know what you're thinking. How much is it going to cost? And Nissan have been really tight-lipped about it. I've tried very, very hard to get them to tell me, and they won't do. However, given that the Renault 5 starts at £23,000 for the entry level, going up to £29,000 for the top of the range with that bigger battery, we're going to see something similar for the Micra. It'd be smart of Nissan to undercut the Renault, but I don't think that's going to happen. And of course, it's all going to depend on what the monthly prices turn out to be. So for that one, we're going to have to wait and see. But now I want to know what you think, so let us know in the comments below. Has it got the Micra magic, or has Nissan played it too safe? Having driven the Renault 5 for a month now, I can't remember having a car before that makes so many people smile, young or old alike. It's a crowd pleaser. So do you think the Micra will be the same? Or is there a risk that it will forever be known as the Renault 5 sibling? You know, the one with the good personality.